Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It is 12:42 p.m. on the first day of spring, and I just tried to go live, and I have someone went in and changed my audio settings right before I went live, and so it's my reverb, like it was all reverby, and the audio was bad. And as I've mentioned before, it's like there's a section of the Grand Solar Minimum MAGA Do What Thou Wilt gang. It's like if you don't sign up for that gang, you're gonna have a lot of trouble. So those GSM observers, I don't know if they're, and I'm not naming any names because it's hacking, but it's a team. So it's like they're trying to control the narrative, and that narrative is politics. So, man, I'm just trying to come right down the middle. And so if people joined like 3 years ago, hey, I've been here for 6 years. So I get that take out the competition is the new American way, but I would keep trying to do what I do and hang on there like that kitty in the hanging there poster. And it's just weird to have GSM MAGA people who are fucking with me when we have unprecedented spring flood season that may become more dire in the coming weeks. So this is the exact time that Americans should be coming together because flood season has just started. And so if we look at the new FB3 GFS precipitation model run for the next 16 days, we are getting heavy rain everywhere across the United States except for the hot volcano zone. And we are still watching for a volcano eruption in the near future, anywhere as soon as this April to the next 3 years along the West Coast. And it could be anywhere, Washington, Oregon, California, who knows, man. But we've got a really bad situation in Nebraska, Iowa, South Dakota, parts of Wisconsin, Missouri. Media that is largely ignoring it. And then, like I said, everything always gets politicized. And I can't stand politics, man. I see no proof that I should have any faith in the political process. And I'm 47 years old, so I've been around. But I do get that if you join one of the two political gangs, you get a lot less trouble if you subscribe to one of the two ways of thought. And so we're looking at a major storm that's going to last about a week, starting around the 30th. Like, as you can see, the storm starts up for the middle of the United States. It enters the West Coast on Tuesday, the 26th, and then moves across the Northwest, and then it explodes in the central U.S. around the high pressure on the 30th, which is Saturday. So now let's watch this. 1, 2, 3, 4. And so this storm system doesn't clear off the East Coast until the Wednesday after. So that's Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. That's a 5-day storm. So that is going to cause more flooding problems in areas that already have major flooding problems. I had to reset my computer the other day, so I don't have all my wonderful tabs reset up yet. But I'm going to do a rundown now of what we're looking at. So, yeah, I just did a full weather pull this morning when I pulled videos for 2 hours. And I was in a great mood because I watched the moon all night. And then now, after doing the weather pull, it dropped to 80. And then when I saw this, it dropped to 65. Can you spot the volcano range? Eric Bouchard, heavy precipitation and strong upward motion will lead to dynamic cooling over the St. Lawrence River Valley. Not too strong, snow ratio around 7.81, because the Northeast people just get real obsessive and religious about snow totals. You know what's weird? I think politics is the new opiate for the masses. Politics is the new religion. You don't have to agree. Okay, so here's the storm we're looking at now. There's going to Bombogenesis out the door. So I'm thinking the whole East Coast is going to see some pretty heavy winds. Some of these models are showing it dragging heavy precipitation up into the very northeast parts of the United States and then into Canada. So this is going to be one of those storms to watch, but I pointed out before, we're now in the wave after wave after wave pattern where you're getting one wave, two waves, and then three waves that are affecting the United States of America and Canada at the same time. So this is the biggest issue going on. I mean, the floods throughout the Midwest have destroyed billions of dollars worth of food and animals, that livestock, which would be used as food, and then just animals as pets. The scenes there are pretty horrific. And then in Mozambique, it had a cyclone destroy 90% of a city. Cyclone destroyed 90% of a city. There's all the videos I pulled. So it's a good. I know that some of the bad guys have lined up in groups to further their own specific agendas for their own tribe, but it's a good time for the superheroes to stand up and figure out what the priorities are that we shall be working on together. AccuWeather, a combination of factors may come together to unleash a rapid flooding event across the central and southeastern parts of Maine, New Hampshire, and New Brunswick for Thursday night to Friday evening. And we're going to be seeing some pretty spring-like temperature totals soon. And it's still going to be a McDLT, so you're going to get some cold shots and some warm shots. You know, I think we could see snow in some part. The weather's going to continue to act really weird, and in some ways completely unpredictable. Another thing, you know, like I'm saying, everybody's like selling freaking bumper stickers, man. Like, this sums it all up. This sums it all up. This sums it all up. And you know what? Nobody knows, man. Nobody has all the information. And so when everybody tries to fit the information from whatever they've already, like, they think this is what this is exactly what's happening, then you're not taking all the data in, and whatever data you're taking in, you're trying to squeeze it into your own little box because you're like, hey, this is what I say it is, and I don't want to be wrong in front of people. And so that's why, like, at this point, whether it be climate change or whatever, grand solar minimum, like, it's no one thing. It is a lot of factors. And so by everybody focusing on just like, oh, it being this and this is exactly what happens because of this, that really screws up our ability to understand what we're dealing with and then solutions to come up with it. Like, if you're only looking at carbon, of course everything's going to be carbon based and carbon affected. I mean, if I was going to look at one thing, it would be the sun, and then everything goes off of that. And the sun is like a dragon and a phoenix egg, and it has other stars in the star field plus all the planets and the gas giants on the same side. And there's a lot of factors here, man. And so I get that, you know, the last 10 years, social networking has made it a popularity contest through negativity, or agreeing to one of the two ways of thinking. But that's not what we do here at Thorn News, and that is not going to lead us to any solutions. And so we got some pretty hot temperatures rolling through the parts that are going to melt a lot of the snow and ice that are up north, the heavy totals, and that's going to send more water, rain, and runoff into the rivers of the United States. And so you're going to get more ice jams, more river flooding, and we're talking super fast flooding. And in spots where people are not properly prepared. And so the Popocatépetl volcano, which I've been tracking nonstop for months, it has been erupting for like 57 days in a row now. Had a major massive eruption on Monday. Man, I had hacker problems all day that day. Today was fine. Like, I actually had 12 hours, no hacker problems or like 18 until they fucked with my audio. So, man, I need to do what Suspicious Observers does and have like 3 people on the payroll who run my information security for me. Then I wouldn't have these problems. I could probably raise more money and do more stuff and work at an even higher level. Anyway, I'll see what we can do. I know all the money and perks earned being a black hat. I'm wondering if white hats are even a legend. Is it a myth? Who knows? Yeah, so we got major problems. And so I've been suggesting since 2015 that we start building cities of the future in super safe spots. We'd all have to do the research, figure it out. But this is why, and it's never too late to start to come up with a plan for the next 10 years, next 100 years, because all this old infrastructure and our whole system is outdated. Significant river flooding likely. And so, yeah, over the next 24 hours, stay away if you're in the problem spots. All the data is coming out saying the spring flooding threat being discussed today from NOAA is legitimate for sure. Remember, we watch these rainfall rates, precipitation accumulation rates continue to increase. That's why I said you can't build a wall with 500% rain rates. And so this is going to continue. And so these problems that aren't solved are only going to get larger until we focus on them. Highway 14, this is Nebraska, with all the flooding that has gone on in multiple parts. Michigan, like the infrastructure is getting torn up, out west, whether it be Colorado avalanches, West Coast, sinkholes as well. Just any infrastructure. Like, we're taking heavy hits to our infrastructure, man. That's another thing with politics. If I want to befuddle somebody, I start talking about infrastructure. Because Republicans and Democrats, it's the last thing I want to talk about is infrastructure for the future, and that how we need to focus on infrastructure that will handle this shit and crops. Anyway, NOAA Spring Outlook 2019 above average precipitation this spring could increase the flood risk across the country. And so here's where it's saying for the spring, we are going to get most likely heavier flooding spots. So basically, the areas that aren't in total turmoil now around it are going to be in turmoil. More bad news for those already devastated by flooding in the Midwest and down the Mississippi River. And so, even if the Edgar Cayce map is coming, we could prepare for it. And it's been one of the things, like I've been saying that, I've been trying to work out a future plan with everybody for about 20 years. And imagine there's 52 corporations have to work out a deal. And if not, then they end up in some weird war where everything falls apart. So now's the time to come together. Guess what, SNE? It's going to snow again. After the rain, simulated radar shows generally how things could look from 6 p.m. tomorrow evening into mid-Saturday a.m. Yeah. Captain Fagan, I see elevated risk of flooding through May. That's not good either. NOAA, space weather. Oh, yeah, look at this deal. Man, I don't even know if the audio on this one works well. I have to check when it's done. And now, that would be a vacation to me. Although I need a real vacation, or I need a vacation. What would feel like a vacation is if I go a whole week without anybody messing with me. At least me working. That would be like a dream. Oh, now I can't even reach SDO. You sure don't want me to look at Windy Works? Yeah. A G2 moderate geomagnetic storm watch is in effect for the 23rd of March, 2019. So take our weird weather watch up a notch. The CME was associated with the C4 flare on the 20th of March. continue to monitor our SWPC webpage for additional updates. Stop being so easily offended by everything. I'll try as well. A gorgeous view of intensifying extratropical cyclone approaching the Aleutian Islands just south of Alaska earlier today. And as far as I know, I'm not trying to brag or anything, but I'm still the only guy who can call hurricanes out from 2 weeks out. Good job, me. California wildfires, how PG&E ignored risks in favor of profits. I think PG&E knows about the volcano, and that's why they allowed themselves to go bankrupt in a limited liability corporate situation. So they made a lot of money, they borrowed a lot of money, and now they can get out in bankruptcy and out of California. That's why our whole system is broken, man. The whole economic system that's based on oil and war is broken, and so we need a new one. It's that simple. That's what Brexit is about. The whole world needs a new system. We'll see, though. If the NAM is right, it's dumping midnight Friday into Saturday night. AM. Temps dropping fast. Winds gusty. Reduced visibility. Slick travel on higher elevations. Outside RT or Connecticut River Valley. And so I think there are going to be portions of this that may have an instant freeze component. The levee has been overtopped near Winthrop, Missouri. So we've had a series of some broken dams and some broken levees. Australia getting hit by 2 cyclones at once. That is a big deal. Imagine if the United States was getting hit by 2 hurricanes at once. And it's something we need to be prepared for, because I'm pretty sure there's going to be a really bad hurricane season. I started having anxiety for it about a week ago. Spring is arriving today. And it's the pressure we'll watch in the wind. I think it could get super windy, although I haven't heard many people talking about how bad the wind is going to be. How is work? Oh, death all over. Political gossip is the opiate of the masses, as that cyclone destroyed 90% of a city in Africa. And just the idea that people would be working against me is crazy, especially if it's from within the truth community. That's the most psychopathic thing I've ever heard of. Unless they're part of the people who are trying not to inform the public. I don't know. I guess we'll all figure it out. Anyway, if you like and support Thor News, it's really hard, and I do what I can with the nickels. I'm a one-man show, although I have to astonish you guys. But I'll leave my PayPal link in the box. It would be great one day to raise enough to get a P.O. box so I wouldn't have to deal with all this online shit, because as you can see, most of my online shit is compromised. I know that some people have given reports in the past that they have friends at Google, and I don't have any friends at Google. Okay, so everybody stay cool, and I will bring you updates when I can. Peace out. God bless everyone. But these definitely are crazy times, and the weather and the flooding situation is the most clear and present danger in the United States of America, and it will persist through May. Stay cool. And it's never too late to be an awesome person, by the way.